Perfect. We're recording.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys so much for being on. We are super excited to share with you guys. My lighting is just really weird right now, but I am Courtney. For those of you who don't know me, I have been coaching this month from the date that I signed up has been 4 years, which is just absolutely insane. Like I signed up in March 2016, and I signed up the same day that I joined a challenge group. So, unlike Lauren, our stories are a little bit different, which is why we work so well together. Just so you guys can hear, all the different kinds of coaches. But anyway, I signed up on the day I decided to join Beachbody in general to be a coach. I was like, I'm going to go all in. I decided that, I would work harder on my health and fitness and nutrition and all that if I um, became a coach at the same time. And so I had no idea what a challenge group was. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just hit the ground running. I always say I started for three reasons. Nutrition being the key one. I love fitness. I have played all kinds of sports growing up, but that gave me a real good excuse to eat whatever I wanted. And so I slacked majorly on the nutrition side of things. So that was reason number one. Reason number two is because I just wanted to help my family, who I got some of that nutrition knowledge from. I wanted to help them love fitness as much as me, and then also love to fuel their body. And then the third one was a financial reason. I just wanted to pay for my monthly car payment, and I wanted to be able to have a reliable car to get us uh, to and from home, where we had just moved 6 hours away from all friends and family. And I was kind of throwing a bonus one. I never knew that I needed this community in a time like that, but that is something that kind of came as a bonus to me, is like, okay, I moved to this town where I knew no one, and this community happened. And it is one of the most amazing communities if you go all in, if you really let it be something that you focus your passion, your purpose, and your life around, and just make it a priority. It really can be life changing. I know that always sounds cliche, but it really can if you just go all in and don't let fear stop you from posting or from doing things that just are normal vitals. So that's kind of about me.
I love it. Yes. And like Courtney said in the beginning, my story is really different. So my name's Lauren Blackledge, and I have been coaching just a little over 3 years. I signed up as a coach in November of 2016. So I'm just a little past, I guess, yeah, a little further into the half year part of almost 3.5 years. And I actually started with Beachbody because I was 45 pounds heavier and absolutely miserable in the way I felt physically, energy, emotionally, and I was just looking for a solution. And I joined in as a challenger and immediately fell in love with everything about this process. And it was about 2 months later that I signed up to be a coach. And I really didn't have big expectations for it. I'm kind of one of those ones that like doesn't want to jump into something if I feel like I'm going to fail. And so I use the safety net of being a discount coach to kind of lean on upon signing up. But what's funny is I signed up as a discount coach, but I immediately started doing the vital behaviors. I just didn't realize it. In this time and age in society, when we love something, we tend to share about it on social media, whether we're doing it to benefit our business or whether we're doing it just to benefit our lives. For me, social media had always been a place where I was putting the things that brought me joy. When my son was born, I plastered my social media with his pictures. When we got, when we would go places, vacations, the things that were happy and good in my life, which sometimes gets claimed as the highlight reel. But I think it's just natural for humans to share on social media the things that are making them happy. And what happened was, naturally, even though I was considering I was going to be a discount coach, I was happy in my life. And so I was sharing about what I was doing. And so come to find out, as I learned about coaching, as I started to get more comfortable with it, I was actually doing the very behaviors that a successful coach does. And that's start sharing about what you're doing, how you're getting yourself healthy, and inviting others to do it too. And, a year and a half later, I decided that I actually wanted to build this business and make it something that was just that I thought was just going to start off as being something to get a discount. And now I've turned it into something that I get to do full time. I used to be an elementary school teacher. I have my master's degree. I taught elementary school for 10 years and fell so madly in love with the process of coaching and how much joy that it brings into my life that I worked so hard that I built up to a full-time income and left behind the job that I went to school for 6 years and worked 10 years doing, because this job filled my cup much more. And so I get to live a life by design now. And I'm so excited to get to share with you guys and how you can start and kind of start creating your why and how this is going to transform your life. So that's about all. That's my intro. So we will dive right into it because we don't want to keep you guys too long tonight. One thing I want to add before we kind of share these slides and go over these bits and pieces is use this as information. One goal that I always have for coaches who get on trainings and coaches who listen to all the different, there's so many different resources out there. Take one thing and put it in action. Don't let all the information you're getting tonight overwhelm you, because all the information that we're sharing with you can be found in other places. So it's not a big deal if you have to go Google it after this call, or it's not a big deal if, something happens down the road where you have to ask your mentor a question that was brought up in this. So find one thing that really sticks out from you today and take action with it. And just know that this is a take an action and then learn, take action and then learn. I've been doing this 3.5 years and I'm still learning new things every single day to benefit my business. So if I can give you one piece of advice before we share these slides with you is don't let it overwhelm you, let it empower you. All right, so let me share my screen. All right, and my million pop-ups. Okay, sorry, ignore my tabs. Okay, so we are going to dive into this new coach call, and the first thing that we're going to talk about, which Courtney and I both have kind of said we both mentioned these words already in our introduction, and that's the vital behaviors. Let me see if I can put this in presentation mode. Can you guys see that slide? Can you see that, Court? Okay, perfect. So the first thing we're going to chat about is, what does a coach do every day? And this can it's so easy to click that share card and click that card and become a coach. But what stops us in our tracks is okay, now what do I do? And the beauty of this is Beachbody has already created a checklist of the things that you can do every single day that will move your business forward. Now we're going to talk about these topics, but I want you to know the first two have to be done in order for the second two to happen, if that makes sense. So this chart, as great as it is, if you're not doing these first two, your business is not necessarily going to move as much forward as you want it to, versus the last two. Sometimes we'll find coaches that they'll do their tracker every day, but we find that they're missing a lot of the second part. So we're going to dig into that. So the first thing, this tracker is called the Business Activity Tracker. It starts on a Thursday because our business weeks start on Thursdays, meaning every Thursday is a payday. So that payday marks the beginning of your week. And the behaviors that go along with it, there's 4 main things that successful coaches do every single day. The first one is be a proof of the product. All of you guys came here to be Beachbody coaches and help people while helping yourself. So that means you need to be using the products that we get to share out with other people. You need to be doing your workout daily. You need to be finding which nutritional plan is going to work best for you. It doesn't mean that you have to do all the things, but you have to find what is your thing. That way, your people can come to you and you can get them results. So you need to be not only doing these things, but sharing these things. If you're not letting people know that you're doing a new cool workout, nobody's going to ask you questions about it. So you have to be proof of that. And for us, our proof tends to be our social media, because we don't have a store that people can walk into. So your social media is where you provide that proof. And the proof doesn't have to always be a physical. A lot of coaches think that in order to start sharing about these programs, they have to have some massive physical transformation. Your transformation can be on the inside. It can be mental. It can be energy. It can be just your overall feeling for life. It can be the transformation of your surroundings. I don't know how many moms that I have in my groups that I find their transformation is the fact that their husbands and their kids are now wanting to live healthier lives. So don't think that it has to be dependent on how your body looks. The next thing, in addition to being proof of the product, if you're wanting to help people, you have to ask people and let people know that you're here to help. So our business is based on building relationships and making connections and inviting people, and also realizing that people are busy and they might need reminded when the event is happening that you're inviting to. So have you guys ever been invited? Nowadays, I don't know if any of you guys have kids, but I'm sure you have kids or friends or someone who has once created an event on Facebook. So a lot of my girlfriends nowadays, we have so many kids and there's so many birthday parties at all times that nowadays they send out their kids' birthday party invites via Facebook. And I want you to think of the groups that you're hosting or participating in as a birthday party. So one, if you don't let people know that you're hosting a birthday party, nobody's going to come. Nobody's going to come to a birthday party that they have no clue is even happening. Two, you need to make sure that you're inviting your friends and the people that are close to you or the people that you have relationships with. I'm not going to go find some Joe on the street and ask him to come to my son's birthday party. And you probably don't want to do the same with your boot camps. So make sure the people you're inviting are the people that you already know, love, and trust. So let them know that you're hosting something, which in this case is going to be either your own boot camp or the coach that you're working with boot camp. The next thing is Facebook. When it's like a week away from a boot camp, Facebook sends me a little reminder that says, don't forget about Blake's birthday party next week. And then in my mind, that triggers, oh, I need to make sure I go get him a gift, which is when I usually make the purchase of something. Guys, you need to realize that we're talking and working with people, and they need reminded that you're hosting a boot camp that they can come into and start changing their health and changing their lives. So those first two activities, we call those the vital behaviors, because when you think about it, actually Courtney and I just listened to a training the other day and it was so important, but these vital behaviors, your vitals on your own living body keep you alive. Well, in this case, these vital behaviors are keeping your business alive and keeping it up and running. So the next thing is once you have friends and family that join in with you, help them get results. You have asked them to come do this with you. Now help them use these programs, motivate them, excite them, let them know where to go find the workouts, let them know which workout you're doing so they can do it with you. Help them get results. And if you have a friend or family member that wants to do this business with you, help them get their first paycheck. Help them sign up their first friend so that they can find success in this business too. And the next thing, which this is a really important thing, but it's just as important as being a proof of the product, is making sure that you're taking care of your mind. When we are working with a lot of different people, we need to make sure that our minds are in check. And so as coaches, we work really hard to make sure that we're listening to personal development that is helping us become better people, become better at motivating, become better at sharing, but also growing this business too. So those four things are the only things that you need to really do. I always say wash, rinse, and repeat to help your business start finding success straight off the bat. All right. And that are the daily tasks. Court is going to chat with you about social media.
Okay. So first things first, if you have not already announced like, hey, I'm a coach or I'm here to help, that is your first assignment on social media. So I know this can seem like the scariest part of being a coach is the social media aspect. But I promise you guys, the more you do it, the better you get at it and the less scary it becomes. So just get out of your own head. Everything doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be of this amazing, perfect caption. It is just sharing your story. So step number one is you need to announce that you're here to help. You in some way can help them. People need to know that you have a business, and they need to know that they can come to you and get some help from you in some way, through your groups, through the fitness programs, through the nutrition programs, and through your mentorship as a coach. They need to know those things. So they're not going to know that unless you're telling them about that. And that is through posts and Instagram/Facebook stories, whatever you tend to post on. So obviously, like Lauren said, being proof of the product, start a program and share the journey. I definitely highly recommend sticking with one program and like marking off like, okay, day one, even if it's 21 day 6, like day 6 of 21, day 7 of 21, or if you're doing like a hybrid calendar, make sure you tell your followers about it. Tell them what you're doing. Show them what you're doing on your stories as far as like a calendar. Just keep them in the know, basically. And then I always like to rotate through 3 posts. Post 1 is a health and fitness post. So this has anything to do with your workouts, with your meal plan, with a fun recipe. Anything health or nutrition related is a health and fitness post. And then post number 2 is a coach post. So this is a little bit separate from a health and fitness post. I know that is our business. But you want to talk about things like what you envision coaching doing for your future. On paydays, you want to talk about, even if you say you sign one family member up, that's $50 in your pocket. Talk about what that $50 means to you, what that is going to help with that week, whether it's groceries or you splurged on getting your nails done or something fun. That's a coach post. So what coaching does for you, what how it affects you, the community, anything to do with coaching. And then the third one is personal life posts. So literally anything else. If it's your significant other, if you're a dog mom, if it's your children, if it's hobbies that you like to do, home decor, DIY projects, just honestly anything. But make it specific to you. Obviously, don't just go posting about things that you don't like to do. Try to stick with what we call a brand, and try to find your likes, your passions, and share those with people. And then show your face, you guys. People want to see you in your social media. Show your personality through the text. So I pretty much, when I'm posting, I will text or I will caption the post like I would talk. So just today I made a post about how I don't really like to cook. And I said something like, that's a yes from me, dog. And that's like how I talk. Like I just talk like that. So try to convey your personality through your captions. And then in the pictures, obviously show your personality to be upbeat and smiley and happy or energetic. Or, there are times when you may post a more vulnerable post and a smiling, upbeat picture doesn't really go with the caption. So definitely make those coincide. I will just briefly mention to get a preset / filter and stick with the same general one. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, Lauren, but Lauren and I are actually doing a new incentive where when you hit Emerald, which is our first rank, I'll talk about that on the last slide, we're going to purchase you your own preset and filter. So that's a little incentive to get to that. But in the meantime, they are like, I don't know, there's a ton on Etsy. They range in price from like $2 to like $50. So pick one that fits your personality and you think would be good for your pictures that you post. And then try to stick with the same general one and like edit it a few notches every once in a while. Okay. Save your stories for the unfiltered content. So show up real. You don't always have to show up with makeup on. Show up with, just waking up in the morning, that you're getting your morning workout in. People want to see that real person on stories, and try to save the like filtered pictures for your posts. Obviously, you just want your feed to look pretty. So I just have a couple of examples of Lauren and I's, and I need to update these, but Lauren and I's grids here is what you call the Instagram grid, is these top 9 photos of both of ours. You can see in mine, I use the same general filter. I have a color scheme going of like blacks and reds and grays, basically, in almost all of my pictures. And then same for Lauren. And again, back then, her color scheme was more pops of blues here and there. And then she had some grays and neutral tones as well. So try to stick to the same general, color scheme or theme or brand. And then just rotate. And I always go to my grid if I'm like, gosh, man, I don't know what to post about today. I go to my grid first. That's the first thing I do. And I say, okay, looks like I just posted a personal post, which is like I posted my son in a robe and with a coffee mug. Okay, so that's a personal post. And then I posted a post about coaching. So now I need to post something about health or fitness. So I just keep rotating through those. And I always go back to my grid to remind myself, okay, I need to post something about that. And then I just figure it out. So that's really all I want to talk about. And then Lauren and I both have a little more in-depth training of social media as far as like posting before and afters and those types of things in our Google form, which you all have received in your new coach welcome.
Hold on, almost forgot to unmute myself. All right, so now I'm going to chat with you guys quickly about how to stay active. So this is actually a really quick topic to talk about. It's not hard to do, but it's important to be aware of. So in order to be considered an active coach, a coach who is investing and putting and moving their business forward, you need to be every month at 50 PV or above. And 50 PV, if you look at these products, these are the products that will get you there. So we've got Recover, 3-day refresh, 2 boxes of beach bars, which are amazing. If you have them, hide them from your family. However, the kit that you guys got set up with, your challenge pack, if you are on Shakeology or the performance line and you're on the auto ship for it every month, you're already locked in. So you don't need to worry about being at 50 PV because you're already automatically at 90 PV on Home Direct. But if there ever comes a month when maybe you need to skip your auto ship, just know if you want to remain an active coach, you need to have yourself at 50 PV or above. However, I am going to lead into the next slide. You want to keep yourself on auto ship at 90 PV so that you can receive our earnings and our prizes, which leads me into our next slide. So I'm just going to kind of speak really candidly here. I am someone who is very driven by prizes. I even joke with some of my teammates that little does Beachbody know, when I first started this, they probably didn't even need to pay me. I would have done the same things that I do now just for the prizes because I'm just so prize driven in the sense of I will do anything for a t-shirt. And y'all, I'm not even going to joke or lie with you, but when I was 18 years old, at my college campus, there was a man that had a table set up with t-shirts, and he said all I had to do was sign up for a credit card. Guess who signed up for her first credit card just because she got a Citibank t-shirt? No joke. That's how driven I am by these prizes. And it's so funny because Beachbody, they go above and beyond to give us all these prizes. But guess what? They're not putting us in debt to do it. They're actually paying us and we're getting commission. So it was even a bonus when I found out that I could get a t-shirt and actually get paid for it versus putting putting myself in a debt. So the first thing that we have is called Success Club. So the way Beachbody organizes this is if you have your Shakeology on Home Direct, and then in 1 month, you help 3 people get set up the same way you did, which is with our bundle kit of what's called a challenge pack. Why should they get set up with the bundle kit? Because it's the cheapest for them and it's the best bulk to get them set up on their journey. So if you help 3 people get set up with that same kit and you have your Shakeology order or your Performance Line order come out, you will earn what's called Success Club. And so this does a couple things. One, it gets you your prize. The first month is a t-shirt. If you do it 3 months in a row, you get, this year, I think it's a Beachbody puzzle. If you do it 6 months in a row, it's a hoodie. If you do it 9 months in a row, I think it's 2 Snuggies, like those blankets with the sleeves, which I'm kind of obsessed with. And then the final one, if you do it all year, you can actually earn one of these like new top notch on the, I think they're like a big new thing. I don't have one yet, but they're like a thermo massage. So that's the prizes for 2020. So really exciting things. The cool thing is, if as you guys are all new coaches, if you do this for 3 months straight, help 3 people each month. Now, guys, I want to break that down for you, because if you're someone who maybe gets overwhelmed by numbers and thinks that 3 people is a lot, I want to break that down. 3 people per month is one person every 10 days. That's so doable. You can help one person every 10 days get started on their health and wellness journey. But what Beachbody also does is every year we have this huge convention. We do a massive workout in the streets. We get to work out with trainers. We get to receive training. We get all this team building and fun, exciting things. If you hit Success Club 3 months in a row, or I'm sorry, no, I take that back. If you hit Success Club 3 times in your first 6 months, they just changed this. That's why I'm not as fresh with explaining this. If you hit Success Club 3 times in a 6-month span within the first 6 months of signing up as a coach, they will give you a free ticket to our annual convention, which is, I always say, it's like Woodstock for Beachbody coaches. Like, it is the most fabulous weekend of your life. It's actually where Courtney and I met. We met in New Orleans, and here, this was us last year at Indy. It was just, it's an event you don't want to miss. And then next week, well, we've got so many exciting things. I don't want you to think of these prizes as almost like seeming too good to be true. All of us started the same way you guys are starting right now. And these are all achievable goals for you if you just set a goal of helping 3 people each month. But one thing Beachbody also does is they love rewarding us for working hard. And every year we have I guess it would be safe to say, like a tropical vacation that they provide us by hitting Success Club, which is helping 3 people every month. And actually, Courtney and I will be seeing each other in Punta Cana in 11 days for doing this very task. And we call this the Success Club trip. So right here, if you are at all incentive driven, prize driven, these 3 things need to be something. If you have a month where you're like, I don't think I want to help anybody this month, I just want to take my discount, I want you to remember these 3 events and these 3 incentives, because they are all life-changing. And the fact that for the past 3 years, I haven't had to worry about saving for the expenses of taking my family on a vacation, because I know that my job is going to send me on vacation. And that is not something that my life ever looked like before coaching. My family and I used to break the bank in order to take a vacation, or we just didn't go on vacation. We hustled with, putting friends and as many people into a house as we could. And so the fact that I've been able to take my family on trips like this, I want you to know it is a reality. It is something you can do with something as simple as changing 3 people's lives a month. So if you're prize driven, that's what you need to be shooting for. And Courtney's going to talk to you now about our first rank in the business.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Punta Cana. I cannot wait. Okay, So first rank in the business is called Emerald. So this is what I was talking about earlier, about the preset. So anyway, when someone says, well, first, I always do that. Let me explain Emerald before I jump into how to get there. Emerald is you are at the top. I always call it a family tree. You're at the top of your family tree, and you have two branches underneath you, your left side of your tree and the right side of your tree. And when you get, they call them legs in this business, so they call them left leg and right leg. So on the left side, if you sign up one coach, one person as a coach, either working the business or just simply discounts, you can sign people up and they don't ever have to work the business. They can just sign up for the discounts. You can call it whatever you want, discount coaching, affiliate member, VIP discount member, whatever you want, they can sign up. It'll look like they're signed up as a coach, but just for discounts. And then you would need one on your left leg, one on your right leg, and that's it. Two people to be wanting the discounts and loving the product, and you get to your first rank called Emerald. When someone says I'm in, I usually give them two options. So this is after you've had a little bit of a conversation with them about what your boot camps include, what what you have to offer, how much it costs. Usually that's a question that people ask. And then they're like, all right, you know what? I've gotten all the information I need. I am in. I'm ready to do this. I want to change my health and fitness. I always say, okay, awesome. You have two options in signing up. Option one is sometimes it can be free, depends on the person. Option one is as a regular customer at the price we discussed. Option two is and like I said, you can call it whatever you want, as an affiliate member, as a VIP discount member, where you coach and not have to worry about coaching others. And option three is if you also want to work the business. Sign up is the same as the option 2 and 3. Sign up is the exact same. But the best part about that is that it's free to sign up as a coach when they're purchasing their workouts and shakes. So like a challenge pack or a fitness or a savings bundle, it's free to sign up. So almost 9 times out of 10, I almost always get people that are like, why wouldn't I sign up for a discount from the start? And that's how you roll them into being a discount coach or VIP member. Also, think about 2 to 3 people who you know might want to do this with you. My first 2 customers / coaches were my dad and my sister. Later, because I didn't understand the value of it at the beginning, I signed up my husband, but it's so important to get your significant other at the top of your family tree, as close to you as possible, because later that creates massive amounts of team volume and you get team bonuses because of that. So the benefits of the benefits of hitting Emerald are: 1, it's your first rank in the business. You can shout it from the mountain top and tell your followers that you're actually taking this business seriously. Followers start to take notice and say like, oh wow, this is actually a business that she's working. I always like to say it's like the open of your business. And it just knows that you're starting to learn and figure this out. You also begin eligibility for, like I said, team bonuses, which are just on top of weekly commission. So once you hit Emerald, you start earning team volume from the people that you place underneath you, which in turn lead to weekly team bonuses. If someone that you have control of, whether that's a significant other or a parent, you have control of their account. That's just another account that you can, make sure stays active, make sure that later down the road, you can advance them to Emerald when you're trying to advance further to Diamond. Those types super important in having it as another account to be in control of. And that's kind of why it's important to sign a significant other up from the beginning, because again, they're at the top, and the closer they are to you, the more volume rolls up through them, which the higher team bonus they get and the higher team bonus you get. Okay. And then you also get fun shout outs on team pages and on our social medias. We absolutely love and adore shouting out our emeralds and all of our rank advancements. And then lastly, you get summit recognition. So whatever rank you are at summit, you get to have a little flag on your lanyard. You get to be on a banner, and it's really cool to find your name and be like, wow, I worked pretty hard for that. So it's just something fun. So also lately, Lauren and I added the income progression of our husbands. So Lauren's is a little bit better because she added hers from 2017, 2018, and 2019. Obviously, like any business, it's something that gradually gets better over time. And this isn't our spouse accounts aren't our main business center. So we weren't putting back in 2017, 2018, a whole lot of customers like at all, basically under them, but they were still making, $92 for that year, which, doesn't seem like a lot, but an extra $100. 2018, extra almost $3,000. And then 2019, Lauren's husband made her husband's account. He's not working it yet. But he's wasn't working it in 2019. His account made $4,600. Greg's account in 2019 made $3,093. So think of just that account where if we would have them up, that's an extra, almost $5,000 for Lauren that they could have gone. So it just goes to show, yeah, it is an initial investment, but I promise you guys it's worth it, and it's especially worth it because then you start investing in this business and you start even working harder to earn that investment back, earn your initial investment back, and just start slaying. So any questions from tonight's slides?
I'm going to unmute because we had one coach, I think she had to hop off, but she texted, or she did a chat, but it came to me privately for some reason, but she asked how do we earn the Success Club? Like, what is required to earn the Success Club trip? And so what I was talking about was the helping 3 people every month, getting your Success Club. But one thing you also want to do, and I'm gonna Courtney, why don't I just actually put it on my team page because I didn't know how to message it to her because she's not one of my PS coaches. But Courtney, put the Success Club trip website on your team page. That way people can opt in. So you're going to want to make sure you opt in to be considered. So I know that was one question that was asked that came to me.
Yeah, it's just a form that you fill out to and they go based on how many, if you hit Success Club.
Yeah, absolutely. That way you're considered for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I wanted to kind of touch base real fast on what Courtney was saying about my husband's income. His account in the beginning, I didn't sign him up immediately because I was trying to do this job. I was trying to do this business as a discount in the beginning. But as soon as I decided I wanted more from this business, I knew that it was very important that he was within the near the top of my organization. And while Courtney said we don't put a whole lot of focus in our spouse accounts, having them there can really grow this business. So I'm going to kind of give all of you just a really big, not reality check, but a really big transparent moment. If you don't want to take this business seriously, signing up your husband as a coach, in all honesty, might not be the best thing for you. But if you want to take this business and start bringing in income and make sure that you're protecting yourself and your family and your business, you want them at the top. You want them there, because I did not do I don't think I added any coaches to my husband's account in the year of 2019, maybe 1 or 2. And because he was near the top of my business and was one of my earlier coaches, we brought in an extra $5,000 for the year. So I want you to think like realistically for that. I don't want you to think, oh, I could never do that. I want you to think right now, if this is something that you want to take seriously with this business, get them at the top of your business. And I tell you that from just a personal learning experience and seeing how it has benefit our family. And there's another video in Courtney and our new training that talks a little bit more on a really serious note of a coach who waited too long and ended up losing a lot from it. So if you haven't watched that video, I really suggest tuning into it, just because you want to protect yourself. You don't want to later on have that happen and be like, oh man, I wish I would have. So that's kind of my last thing there. But did anyone else have any questions? I kind of took over that question at moment. All right. All right. Well, I think that might be it. So Courtney and I will share this recording to you guys. That way, if you need to kind of go over it again, or if any of the ladies weren't able to hop on live and catch the recording, we will share this out with you guys. But I hope everyone has a great evening. Bye.
Hi guys, thanks for being on.